Tucked along a quiet mountain highway in West Virginia is a historical marker detailing a unique legal anomaly. It marks the site of the only known murder conviction in American history, aided by the testimony of a ghost. The victim was a newlywed named Elva Zona Heaster, found dead on the floor of her remote cabin in January 1897. Her husband, Erasmus Trout Shue, was a local blacksmith with an imposing physical presence. When the county doctor arrived to examine Zona's body, Shue was violently weeping. He cradled his wife's head and shoulders tightly against his chest, becoming aggressively unhinged every time the doctor tried to get near her neck. Intimidated, the doctor packed up his bag and officially ruled the death an everlasting faint. With that single ruling, a killer was cleared to walk free. Zona's mother, Mary Jane Heaster, lacked the legal or social authority in 1890s Appalachia to challenge a male doctor's signature. The doctor abandoned standard investigative procedure. Facing a large, screaming husband, he chose the path of least resistance, skipping a physical assessment of the upper body entirely. The precision medical tools brought to the scene sat useless in their case, denied contact with the victim because Shue physically refused to let go. Days later, the doctor updated the official death certificate. He changed the cause to complications due to childbirth, despite the fact that Zona had never reported being pregnant and showed no physical signs of it. This medical negligence locked the case shut. The authorities had signed off, and overturning that consensus would require a deeply unorthodox intervention. Mary Jane Heaster spent the wake watching. She noticed details that the county doctor had missed or ignored, while Trout Shue managed the funeral. She watched Shue take total control of the room. He spent a full 24 hours guarding the head of the coffin, refusing to step away even for a moment. Mary Jane noted a series of physical anomalies. Shue had dressed Zona in an uncharacteristically rigid, high-necked gown. He also wedged a bunched-up bedsheet tightly against her cheek, supposedly to help her rest easily. Every time the casket bumped, Zona's head rolled loosely. These stiff supports, the collar and the sheet, appeared to be the only things keeping her daughter's head in place. Mary Jane understood exactly what had happened, but her observations carried no legal weight against a doctor's signature. To get an investigation, she needed a claim that her highly superstitious community could not ignore. Mary Jane formulated a solution. She translated her observations into the language of her neighbors, a supernatural visitation. She claimed her daughter's spirit appeared at the foot of her bed over 4 consecutive nights. This diagram maps what Mary Jane told the prosecutor the ghost revealed. Shue raged over a meal lacking meat, crushed Zona's windpipe, and cleanly snapped her neck at the first vertebrae. These specific injuries forced the prosecutor to order an exhumation and formal autopsy. The medical examiners opened the stomach and found bread, butter, and preserves, no meat. They removed the high collar and found a crushed windpipe and a fractured spine. Trout Shue was immediately arrested for murder. The story of the visitation acted as a lever. By using local folklore, Mary Jane forced a modern autopsy that otherwise never would have happened. When the trial opened in June 1897, the prosecution ignored the ghost story. They built their case strictly on the autopsy results and Shue's behavior during the initial exam. Then, the defense attorneys made a tactical error. Trying to paint Mary Jane as a delusional woman, they questioned her about the supernatural visions on the stand. Because the defense introduced the ghost story into the official record, the presiding judge could not strike it out. The jury was permitted to weigh the apparition's testimony. Mary Jane held her ground under cross-examination. The physical findings from the autopsy made the ghost story impossible for the jury to ignore, leaving the defense without an effective way to discredit her. Shue was convicted of first-degree murder. The trial unearthed a history of spousal abuse and suspicious deaths surrounding his previous wives. The verdict was so popular that the sheriff had to hide Shue in the woods to prevent a local mob from hanging him. He was sent to the West Virginia State Penitentiary, where he died of an unknown illness just 3 years later. He was buried in an unmarked prison grave. Today, the debate continues over whether Mary Jane Heaster experienced a genuine event or utilized a strategic narrative. In the end, the origin of the vision matters less than its result. The case remains a study in persistence. In a system where she had no formal standing, Mary Jane Heaster found the one narrative that could compel the law to look again, ensuring her daughter's story was finally told.